now joined by Nicole Iseppi from Terrawatt Initiative. Nicole, thanks for joining us.
Absolute pleasure, thank you.
Nicole, let's start with some reflections. It's the 20th anniversary of the Africa Energy Forum. Your take on how far energy and power generation has come in Africa?
I think we're at a very exciting time right now. Obviously, the whole energy sector globally is very exciting, especially with the execution of the Paris Agreement in 2016. But right now, Africa is really the core focus too, because one continent that you can focus on accelerating not only access to energy, but also the targets are needed for low electricity costs as well as the deployment of renewables. I think it's a very exciting time for anyone that's in Africa now or who's not invested yet. Definitely one to have a look for.
Take us through some of the work that Terrawatt Initiative does.
All right, and so Terrawatt Initiative was born out of Paris Agreement. It basically is an advocate, an independent global foundation, non-profit, and it basically is gathering lots of stakeholders collectively and collaborating together as to what innovation we need, essentially to meet the two core needs, and that is the deployment of renewables, hence the United Nations and also the Paris Agreement objectives, but also a lower cost of electricity. And so basically we believe that with this energy revolution, or some might call it even an industrial revolution, that it's not just about technology innovation, it's also about market innovation. And that's something that's really important. And so we believe that it's now more important than ever to look at the market and invent a new market to serve the needs now and going forward. So basically TWI believed in 5 core pillars. One thing is creating some core central procurement regulatory requirements. Secondly, standardisation, because that obviously helps the deployment of renewables as well as lower the cost of development, hence lower cost of electricity at the end. We also believe there's a gap in the market right now. We need some form of guarantee to serve certain issues, whether it be foreign exchange or political risks, and that's just globally, not just for Africa. And therefore there needs to be a new institution here to serve that need that's very tailored for what we're focusing on, renewables and particularly solar. And we also believe in securitisation, to tap into more investment and therefore deploy more investment going forward and create a new asset class and ultimately a digital platform.
Nicole, what are some of the challenges that remain prevalent within the energy space on the continent?
Look, the challenges here, I wouldn't say it's just Africa. It's quite an interesting fold right now. The whole, where energy is, the access to energy as well as deployment of green energy, there's some common threads, and it's, yes, it is in Africa, but it wouldn't be in Africa alone. For example, there's obviously from international investors, whether you're a financial institution or a developer, there's things like foreign exchange risks, there's transferability and convertibility of currency. And therefore there's a need to create, for example, this new guarantee solution. And therefore if we can do that, not only will it accelerate the needs of Africa, but also globally. I mean, an important thing right now is if we really want access to energy, which we should be targeting around the world, solved by 2030, for Africa alone, we are targeting nearly $33 billion a day we need. So we need to tap into the funds that are there, and there is money out there, but make sure we balance those risks so we can deploy that renewable, deploy that electricity, and get the lowest cost for the end user.
Just finally, Nicole, this is a meeting of minds, this forum that we're having this week. What are some of the outcomes that you're hoping to see by the end of the conference?
I think for African Energy Forum, not just for Africa, but compared to other conferences around the world just generally on energy, something's amazing at AEF because you get the chance to speak to stakeholders, and that could be from ministers to fellow developers to fellow financial institutions, either corporate or government, and not just talk one-on-one. We're actually collaborating. Just shortly a while ago, I bumped into some people, some I knew, some I hadn't, and got introduced, and next thing we were collaborating. And when you start talking, we realise we're very close in our thought process, but we're just got to get the mechanisms, the models, the products there to get that deployment there. So it's a positive movement, and now we're just really at the action phase.
Nicole, we'll have to leave it there. Thank you so much.
All right then, thank you.